So welcome everybody. Today we are doing an open session on life hacks for blackouts. So I found a few online that I'll start with. Um, one of the ones that came up on my list was entertainment. So I guess this is something that you guys experienced last year, but what ways did you find to entertain yourself if you didn't have any electricity? Did you have books ready or board games or pack of cards or something like that? Um, let's just make this an open chat. So I'm not going to pick on people. You can just either raise your hand or just start talking. But how long were the blackouts and what kinds of things did you have ready in order to entertain yourselves?
Okay, so I'll start.
Sure.
Um, I was a bit lucky because our building was not that much under outages as other buildings were, as our other houses were, and it was like 6 hours without light, without electricity, or as it went on the schedule. Otherwise, when there was actual blackout, not regular outages, but as the consequence of strikes, um, I didn't suffer that much. There wasn't 2 or 3 days like it was in other districts of Kiev. There was just approximately a day only. So I was lucky that time. But as it goes for entertainment, books, and I had that marvelous game called Numbers Game. Uh, you spend too much time on it. It's very pointless. You just match numbers. Either they have to make 10, adding them in addition, or they are the same. And this game is so it makes you stick to it in that way that you just don't realize that those 4 hours passed.
That time has passed, yeah.
Yeah.
So is it a game you play with cards or do you just write numbers down on a piece of...
No. It's an application.
Oh, I see, I see.
Yeah.
Jana, you've got your hand up. What would you like to add?
Okay, because I have life hacks for blackouts also. Okay, I'm living in small village, and my parents, my mom, don't have actually much money, and my house don't have central heating, and don't have gas. And before full-scale invasion, I was very sad about this. But now it's actually very useful because it means that if missiles will hit in some gas station or I have blackout, I actually have a warm house because I'm warm in my house with coil. I have a lot of candles. That's why it's blackout is very romantic for me. And yeah, it's very lovely atmosphere in my house in blackouts, and yeah, it's like I'm living in the Victorian house in 19th century.
Yeah,
Uh, and also I have books like
yeah.
literally from 18th century, and of course there is like have to charge your phone at the night because like when you sleep, your phone charging, and in the morning when you don't have any electricity, you can read some electronic books, for example, because if you don't have electricity, you don't have internet, actually, because Wi-Fi working on electricity. I
Yeah.
found out. Yeah, a lot of things depend on electricity, and that's why um, my situation. I thought that my house is like the worst place when I want to spend the war, but it's found out. How I found out, it's actually not such bad as I
Not so
think.
bad.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
so yeah, it's good to live in the village and heat your house with oil, because it's actually stable and very useful for you to be in a warm place and to cook anything, because you don't depend on like electricity or gas,
Yeah.
actually.
So does everyone come to your house in in the blackouts, or is everyone the same?
A lot of houses like mine, some of them actually have two system, like they can heat the houses by coal, and left this gas system, natural gas, for warming, but it's also depend on electricity, because it's working like some mechanism. I don't understand how it works, but
Yeah.
it's also need some electricity. But all of this like hybrid systems, a lot of houses have this hybrid system, and like winter is not as hard in village, as in, but in cities it's more harder, because
Yeah.
houses also, elevators don't work in buildings when there are no electricity. Some people has uh, in kitchen all this stuff. I don't know, I forgot word. Place when you in which you cook anything.
Yeah.
How it's,
Stove.
yeah,
Stove.
And what
and
about entertainment?
She's got all her
what it is.
books. What do
Book.
you think about her
Yes,
books?
I
Just
have
just
books.
just
Eh,
books.
no.
Okay.
I'm smart one. Because very often when I actually know that tomorrow will be, or I predicted that tomorrow will be a blackout after missiles, or for example, in night I know that like another Shahed attack, and I download in movies, cartoons, anime, and when in the day I'm watching all of this till my phone die. And after I read books, and also I can spend a lot of time outside in house, because my dog also want attention from me.
Yeah. Yeah. That's cool. Thank you. Anastasia, did you want to tell us some of your entertainment life hacks?
Yes, I am a little bit lucky. I was a little bit lucky too, because maybe I had last year no more than 4 hours turn off the electricity during the day, yeah, and it was okay. I can live with it. Of course, it was hard to understand what you should do during the time without electricity, because all our life connection with electricity, yes, so all our devices, and it was if it was in summer when the day is longer, maybe it wasn't such depressive, because it was in winter, and the light day is short, and when you stay in dark more time during the day, I felt something sad. But I agree with Yana that time gave us some romantic atmosphere, because I have many candles at home, but they are like decoration.
Yeah.
And last year I used candles often, and it gave me the light. During the blackout, I saw in Instagram, in stories, in some shops that they started sale some light which work with power banks help. But people earn money, and they cost really really expensive.
Expensive, yeah.
Yes, and all my devices are electricity, and we had to buy a gas stove. It helped us. I thankful for that people who who invented
Yeah.
that stove. And it is rather small, but we even use it now when for example, this summer we were in mountain, and brought it with us. It's really a good thing. I didn't know about it before the
Blackout.
blackout.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like,
What about
sorry,
uh,
go ahead.
I what about entertainment? Thanks God, last year I knew about that fact that in YouTube you can download
Yeah.
the video. And when I had an internet and electricity, I downloaded some interview, even some films, and it helped me.
That's good.
And we have an interesting experience. I live with my boyfriend, and every evening when we didn't have an electricity, uh, we read books in voice.
Okay, out loud.
And
Yeah.
yes, download. And it was it was an interesting experience.
Yeah.
One fact that I didn't like, that my office is located on 27th floor, and uh, uh, when we have a shadow, and I remember that on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, it it wasn't electricity during the morning, and I had to go upstairs on 27th floor.
No elevator.
Yes, because the elevators didn't work, and it was rather hard.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it made my health better.
Yeah, lots of steps that day. I was going to ask because it seems like people in Ukraine really enjoyed camping. So maybe lots of people already had things like gas stoves from camping.
Yes, and I know that many people had, but I've never camping
Never been
before this summer,
camping.
and that is why I didn't know last year about this device.
Yeah. Yulia, do you feel like telling us some of your life hacks? Doesn't have to be about entertainment. It could be something different.
I want to tell you that I just listening you, and I thought that my main entertainment was sleeping. Really, I slept as much as I could ever afford. I woke up. There was no electricity. I went to bed again, and and I remember that my winter was like a beer. Just
Like a
sleep.
hibernation.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
Awesome.
yes. But if you, with your permission, I want to tell you a little bit about my backstory.
Of course.
And
please do. Yeah.
okay, thank you. First of all, just a second. I live in the city of Irpin near Kiev, and as you probably know, since the beginning of the full-scale Russian invasion, my city, like many others, was a place of the was a scene of fighting. For the first 10 days after the war started, my husband, I, and our two cats lived in the basement of our house. The situation was getting worse every day, so we decided to evacuate. And of course, it wasn't easy, but we managed to live and to stay alive. After our armed forces, our saint armed forces liberate Kiev region, we were happy to finally return home. And because of the fact that our street district of our city was a gray zone, a place where fighting was taking place, many of our infrastructure buildings were damaged. Many houses were completely destroyed and burned to the ground. But we were very lucky, like our house, residential building. We have only damage. We have just a second. The roof of our house was damaged by two unexploded mines, so there was no fire. And we had broken windows, but this is nothing compared to neighboring houses, which simply do not exist anymore. So we were very happy that we have a home. We repaired the damage, and for some reason, we were sure that there would be problems with gas supply in winter. So we but we have autonomous gas heating and gas water heating. So we decided to buy gas cylinders and a unit for their use, a burner. And also we bought electricity heater and electricity sheet. And then we understand how wrong we were. So when Russia started Russia started shelling our energy infrastructure, there was a huge demand for generators and other similar devices, but we managed to pre-order an uninterruptible power supply, but it took a long time to get it from the Europe. So I can say that we survived the worst blackout without all this equipment. And our biggest blackout after a massive rocket attack lasted 60 hours. But we have a gas, we could easily cook. My husband created a homemade shower and we heat the water on a gas stove. So like most Ukrainians, we improved our time management skills, and in the 2 or 4 hours that the electricity was available, we managed to do everything. And now there are many people who say that this winter may be more difficult than previous, but now we are not afraid because we are ready.
Yeah.
Yes, we have prepared. We have optical internet, the one that works without electricity.
Mm-hmm.
So we became, all these things makes us stronger, and when we are strong, we are invincible. So
Yeah. Thank you so much for telling us about that. I'm just curious, have many people returned to Irpin? Or is this much damage?
many people are living in Irpin, but in houses that were built for people who lost everything, mobile houses.
Yeah.
Many people became refugees abroad. Many of them internal displaced people in Ukraine. So I think we have traffic jam already. So I think that many people return home.
That's a sure sign that it's coming back. Everyone's coming back.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So having an autonomous gas supply, I guess, would have been a major benefit for you.
For sure.
Yeah, okay. Interesting. Anyone else have any suggestions about I've got another few things here, like can openers, canned food, preserved food. Do you have things like that stored just in case?
We do already have those tourist gas stoves, so
Yeah.
we don't need canned food.
True.
And we have those replacements for gas. It's really great device that is, as I said, told about. I bought it very far from the beginning of outages, and I was more than happy. And I waited till there's the outage begins to eat, to have lunch, to make my food warm or even hot, because I saved all the time with electricity to do my job, not spending any minute on something beyond it, and it helped a lot, right? Actually.
Yeah, it must have been very disruptive for people's working as well. with the
Yeah, even when you have only you know that you have only 2 hours with electricity, you
Mhm.
have a choice what to do. You have to eat, to charge all your devices, to
Yeah,
work, or to have a shower, or whatever.
and then hibernate like Julia when the when the electricity goes off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Jana, have you got your hand up from before, or did you have?
Yes. Because I'm listening the story of Julia, and my all this time I said, oh my God, what terrible time we are live, but somehow we are survived. And okay,
Yeah.
and there is also interesting moment because you asked about food, and all life hacks of my grandmother who survived Holodomor and Second World War, and we already have all this food what it doesn't spoil, like it's like some grain, or some macarons, like spaghetti, all this stuff. And also we have because I'm living in the village, and in the summer we grow up, we have our own potatoes. For example, potatoes, cabbage, and all these vegetables, which we made by ourselves. And so when started a war, when started blackouts, it wasn't actually that scary that I thought before, because somehow I already had skills for this, thanks to my grandmother, because all these moments helps us. For example, for my family, it's really helped because our grandmother was like, "You should have food in your house
Yeah.
always," and we have because like experience of our previous generation, and like it helps.
Mm.
Like, it really helps.
Yeah. I wonder about whether people in the countryside in some ways were better equipped for that kind of thing, because it just reminds me of my parents. My parents live in very far away from the nearest city, so they only go to the supermarket maybe once a month, but otherwise they have everything they need, like vegetables and preserves and things like that. So I think that if we had blackouts here, my parents would be probably quite well prepared compared to people like me who
Absolutely,
live in the city.
definitely, because I also can bake bread. So if this situation will be such horrible that I can't buy a bread in the like our little shop,
Yeah.
I can do it by myself.
Mm.
No, I literally live in the 19th century. Where is my Mr. Darcy?
Homemade bread is more tasty, actually.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
is. It is.
Homemade
It
bread
has
is
amazing smell of the
yeah.
home cookings.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. Um, Rebecca and Josh, do you guys have any ideas, or are you just listening?
It's very very interesting to what I am listening. Thank you. I am like impressed by how you still are unbroken after all of this. And we do some similar things in Mexico, for example. Um, when we don't have candles, we try to have candles all the time, and we also enjoy this romantic atmosphere. But I don't know, probably you already knew that you can use crayons as candles, and they will burn for 2 hours
I
Wow.
did
because
not
they are
know
made
that.
of wax. Okay, so for example, I don't know if in Ukraine, but here in Mexico, Crayola crayons are like really popular brand. So you can take one small crayon, you just burn it, you ignite it, and you just when it melts, you paste it like on the plate or on a surface, and
Yeah.
it's like a small candle because it's made of wax.
Mm.
People say that this will last 2 hours. Another thing, what Jana was telling, like to always have the food. This is very important. Here in Mexico, I don't know, in Ukraine, beans are very important. I don't know what varieties you have in Ukraine. Here we have many. I don't know if you know black beans. I know the word, I'm sorry, in Russian, flasol. I think it's beans, but I don't know the word for it in Ukrainian. Flasiola. Okay, thank you.
Fasolia.
Квасоля, ква, like frog, kva,
Quasolia.
квасоля.
Quasolia. Sorry, guys. So for example, my grandparents also lived in a village, and meat was not cheap. It's not like you can eat meat every day, like in those times. So what people say is that if you have white rice and you mix this white rice with black beans, it's like you are eating meat. Actually, in Cuba, there is a very famous dish that's called moros y cristianos. And it's people say like these beans have like really, really high protein. So it is good because beans and rice do not need, when they are, of course, raw, do not need to be refrigerated like meat, for
Yeah.
example.
So they don't spoil. Anastasia, you have your hand up. Did you want to add something?
Yes, I memorized about one interesting thing. It's about hair dryer, and I remember that for almost all girl it was really problem because yes, we have a shadow when the electricity turn off, turn on, but you know. I have often such a situation when I washed my head, my hair, and started drying my hair, and the electricity turned off.
Oh, that's the
My
worst.
hair, yes, my hair was wet. I needed to go to the office. It is winter outside, rather cold.
Yeah.
And yes, and that time I washed my hair when it was an electricity, and in the evening, at night, in the morning, where when I could, I did it. But the strange thing for me is that I didn't know about hair dryer, which works without electricity, and it's strange for me that they are not popular in Ukraine, and I even didn't hear about it. Last year I thought that it would be popular this year, and I don't know, some shops invented something, I don't know, and start to sell them, but no.
No. Yeah, that's the worst when you have wet hair in winter.
Yes,
Yeah.
it's
I have
I
life
remember.
hack.
Uh-huh,
Oh,
uh-huh.
say. I next. I told you what
No,
how
no,
you can
I
use.
want I wanted to tell about another situation.
Okay, I
It
tell you
won't be
about
about
hair.
hair, but yes, about hair, please.
I finished the story about hair because life hack from my dormitory stories when I was student,
Yeah.
and we have all this long, beautiful hair, and now I'm bald. But no, in my students' age, how you can dry your hair without electricity? Like you need to shake your hair like this metalhead guys, you know, who heavy metal.
Yeah.
It really works.
You have to shake for a long time.
I think that it's the best life hack in this lesson this
So
evening.
you just have to turn on some heavy metal on your phone and then shake your head for depending on how much
For
hair you
example,
have.
there is like one good band in Ukraine, Hate Speech, and they sing it like punk music, and like text, I will kill old gods, and you shake your hair.
That's a great life hack. Anastasia, did you have another one, or should we go on to Josh?
Yes, we can go to Josh.
Josh, does it
Yeah,
involve
my life.
metal?
Metal, no. My life hack, even if I were a woman, I think I would cut my hair short. But when I was in,
You don't know what
when I
you're
was in
saying, Josh.
okay. When I was in Peru, the girls didn't cut their hair short either. It was winter there.
Yeah.
They went outside. They put their hair under the cold water, washed their hair, and then they managed to go to school with the, I don't know, that was probably not wet hair. They probably dried it very thoroughly with a towel as
Mhm.
much as they could, and took out the water as much as possible, and then it would dry by itself, I guess. But yeah, I was really amazed that they were able to do that. But I think you also harden yourself.
Yeah.
If you have to do this every morning, then after a while you harden yourself against the cold. But yeah, I was really amazed that they were not getting ill. Yeah. That's not really a life hack, but okay.
This is very if I may, this is very interesting because actually well, Mexico is different from Peru, of course, but like to have this machine to dry your hair, you go to the hotels and you see it. Well, at least I see it, and it's like it's like the for the hotel. So in reality, here, like I mean, my house, we don't have it. It's not like so common for us at least. And I remember from what Josh is saying, some people like to dry their hair with a towel, but with the climate here, you really don't need, in my opinion, to dry your hair with a towel. It just dries naturally, and that's it. And of course, there are many people who have like this long, beautiful hair. Sadly, I'm not one of them, so my hair dries like in 5 minutes or less. But the thing is, you comb your hair while it's wet, and then you go outside, and the hair dries. This is how we do it, at least here.
Beat's been very quiet. I think he has little to add to this conversation about long hair.
Yeah, I have to add something. I've seen how girls were trying to dry their hair, holding them and combing them above the gas stove.
Oh
It
my
was very
God.
That
risky.
sounds
Oh my
very
God.
dangerous.
Yeah, but they did that.
Oh, no. This is very, very, I don't know, very dangerous. Oh my God.
The lengths girls go to for their beautiful hair.
Yes.
She risked to get unplanned haircut.
Yeah. Yeah. What other kinds of when Rebecca was talking about beans, it reminded me there's probably lots of different and as Yana said, foods that don't spoil. What kinds of things do you keep stored apart from flour and spaghetti? What other sorts of things?
Just a couple of condensed soups, like from the supermarket, not self-made. Some snacks, and that's it. The problem isn't about buying the food. The problem is about cooking them, and beans themselves, they take much time to cook. So you need to boil them for a couple hours for them to be.
Life hack. Left beans in the water on the night,
Mm-hmm. Yes.
and
Yes.
and you and it's
Indeed.
boiled much faster. Really recommend it you.
You soak them overnight. Yeah.
Yes, you need to soak them overnight. And also, for example, there are other seeds like lentils, chickpeas. These seeds do not require refrigeration.
It
Like,
requires you to be organized though and do it the night before.
yeah, of course. What else? There is these also for example, there are sites like you can look up like these survival sites with life hacks, where they say, like, for example, nuts, like almonds, like what else? Sorry, I don't know the names in English. Like
Cashew nuts, peanuts.
cashew nuts, this kind of nuts, peanuts. Like you have all these. Um, Here in Mexico, I believe there are chickpeas. Where people gather them, like in the, I mean, like my grandparents, and you toast them, and they will last. Uh, you basically need foods that are non-perishable. I don't know if you have like jerky in Ukraine, like dried meat. Like you see
We
some
have,
datini.
yes, we
Yeah,
have.
we do.
But like snacks, not the
Mhm.
main dish. Snacks.
Mm-hmm. There is something that it's called. I've never tried. I've seen it like in some sites that it's called hardtack. So this is something that some people do. I've never done it, but probably like when there were these long sea trips, like I mean like in the time of the pirates or something like that, before there was actual refrigeration. They took this. They are like small cookies, but they are really really hard because they bake them twice, so they don't need refrigeration. They last. And of course, to have like but not everyone can get this, unfortunately. These foods that are like lyophilized foods. I don't know if I'm
Freeze
saying it
dried.
correctly.
Yeah, lyophilized or freeze dried food.
Yeah, freeze dried. You just add boiling water and that's it. Usually they are used for camping.
Yeah. I think as Vit was saying though, the problem isn't necessarily having food, it's warming it up, because in the winter the last thing you feel like is a cold can of soup, right?
Mhm.
Yeah, in the beginning there were some difficulties with shops that many of them were closed. Like it was for the first week or so, and after that, most of them bought those generators, and even they used Starlinks to make their post point of sales, like this post terminals work. So it was no big deal to buy a food, and the most problem was to cook it when if you have electric stove at home. Like it's more like a half of housings have electric stoves and half have gas stoves in Kiev, apparently. And the problem is to cook fast and to cook much and to have it warm as it's getting cold. If you don't have central heating at that time or so. So the one thing about soaking overnight in the water, this product, as far as I know, is not very popular worldwide, but it's popular in Ukraine. It's buckwheat. It's like there
Yes,
were different.
It's what
Sorry?
it's called. Sorry to interrupt. This buckwheat, it's probably I don't know the Ukrainian word, grechka.
Гречка. Yeah, exactly.
Grechka. Here,
It's the
Yeah,
best
it's not
food,
very
the
popular.
best food.
I want to try
Yeah.
this product because every Ukrainian I meet, they told me, oh, grechka, blah, blah, blah. And here it's super difficult to find. And I know Ukrainians who are in the States and tell me like people have this wrong idea that it's like feed for the cattle. It's not feed for the cattle, it's food. But here you have to go like to a very specialized store to buy it. And usually I am asking the Ukrainians and they sell some really horrible Russian variety. So I want to get Ukrainian variety, but it's super, super hard to find. So how does it taste
And
like?
it's very
Almost?
nutritious. It's
Uh-huh.
very nutritious and very healthy, actually.
Oh,
It tastes like it depends. If you have green buckwheat, like not
oh,
fried,
mhm.
it has one taste a bit different from that fried one. The fried one or steamed one. No, it's not steamed, it's fried. Like it's more like you eating some seeds, like sunflower seeds.
Okay. Uh-huh.
It resembles it. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. We have sunflower seeds, but we eat more like cabbage seeds. Some people here eat,
We also do
sorry,
eat them.
ours are salty. So we call
Cabbage?
them pepitas. Uh-huh. Cabbage.
Oh, no. We don't eat cabbage.
You don't eat cabbage?
We
Like the
we
like
not
the
we don't eat cabbage seeds. We more like of sunflower seeds eaters
uh-huh.
and pumpkin seeds eaters.
Sorry, pumpkin. I meant to say pumpkin, sorry. Yeah, pumpkin
Oh.
here is yeah, sorry guys, my English is not good. Please don't feel shy about your English. This is like the proof that you need it if you still feel shy. Sorry guys. So just with pumpkin seeds, salted pumpkin seeds. We eat that.
Salted or even raw.
Do you have something that it's called amaranth?
No. Maybe
No?
we have it's in supermarkets and it's very
No.
rare and
Uh,
Yes,
it's more
we
more
have
expensive.
do you have
we have,
amaranth?
but it's not popular.
You can
It's hard to
prepare
find, actually.
a Mexican sweet with this and this, and this sweet does not need refrigeration. You just need like to have the amaranth seeds and put them, well, this is the issue, over the fire. So it's like when you are doing popcorn. So they like slightly, they are like, I don't know how you have them. Like if you have them already toasted, but if you have them toasted, you just mix with honey and with raisins and with pumpkin seeds and you put them into blocks. This is called alegría, which means joy in Spanish. And this will like last for a long time. And it's very nutritious. But I don't know if you have
Interesting.
such
It
seeds in.
sounds
No,
like a kozinaki. It sounds similar like this.
like pop
like
rice.
like pop rice and no not it's maybe I can show you a picture if you want. Like let me find it.
Put it in the chat. Yulia, what are your favorite foods that last a long time?
Buckwheat is Ukrainian traditional food. I like this very much. But we have had another problem last winter because we have a gas, but we didn't have where to. Just a second. To hide our preparing food
Oh,
because
okay.
refrigerator is doesn't work because there are no electricity. So we cooked just for one time to eat.
Yeah. Yeah. What about water storage? I guess if your blackouts don't last that long, it's not such a big deal. But do you also keep lots of water in the house?
Yeah,
You have to have
ma-
two supplies.
one more time, please repeat.
You have to have two different water supplies for drinking and for technical use.
Yeah, we buy water for drinking and technical water. But when there was no electricity, also there was no water because our system in the yard of our residential building is also electric.
Mm-hmm.
So we have many bottles of water in our apartment. So our apartment in the winter looked like some plastic house.
Yeah, yeah. I just thought of another life hack. Do you guys have that shampoo that you spray on your hair? Sorry to go back to talking about hair, but
Like shampoo?
yeah, like it's shampoo, but you spray your hair with it, and it's not as good as shampoo, but it's better than probably nothing.
Yes, your
yes,
hair look better
Yeah.
with that.
Mm.
dry shampoo.
Dry
I used it once, but I didn't like the effect. I didn't know, and decided not to buy it because it didn't help me. I don't know. Maybe it's only for me, and
It's
maybe
definitely not
girls
as good
use.
as it's not as good as the real thing. It's not as good as
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right. Should we have just a few minutes left? How are
Yeah,
you
guys,
guys?
do you have any hacks about dealing with cold?
Mm.
So when there is
Bottle
no
with hot water.
yeah, when
Yes.
you don't have any heating for several hours or even for a couple of days, it would be very handy because I've seen very many life hacks like they were put on YouTube's different tourists shared their experience using camping tents, using some other
Like putting a tent
yes.
inside your apartment.
Yeah, you can. You actually can,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it's much more handy. But I thought maybe some of you guys have any others because it could be in use really.
apart from
I
multiple
have on.
Sorry.
Sorry.
You go ahead.
It's not a life hack, but I have two cats and they are really warm all the time and never cold.
Lucky you.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
everyone needs to get a pet.
Yeah.
Goose down, of course, is also very good to keep you warm. So a blanket.
I have a dog, but my dog don't like hugs, and
Oh.
that's why. Little bastard.
Oh, amazing. Awesome. Well, this has been a great session. Thank you, everyone. It's really nice to hear. Also, it's nice to hear that you are feeling, prepared for whatever comes this winter. I sincerely hope that you don't have to deal with the same blackout schedules as last winter, but yeah, as Yulia said, I think it's made everyone stronger and more prepared for whatever comes this winter. Anyone got any final thoughts before we sign off?
We
I
don't
have
talk
a-
about lard. I just remember that lard is the best food for the winter.
Some
And our
comfort food, yeah.
ancestors, no, our ancestor was genius because they invented this salted pig's fat, and it's really good for winter.
Yeah. Comfort food. Ukrainian style. That's awesome. All right, let's leave it there for today. Thank you so much, everyone. It was a really great discussion. I haven't decided what we'll talk about next week, but I'll put it in the chat, and I'll put it on the invitation for you, Yana. But if anyone
you
has
very
any
much.
suggestions about topics they want to discuss, they should just put them in the chat or let me know. But yeah, thank you so much. I'll see you all next week.
Thank you so much,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Bye.
Have a nice
Bye.
day. Bye.